In this chapter 3, we'll look into different concept of creation. In this session, we'll discuss about the concept of walls, different peripheral properties of walls, the sketching tools, how you can use to create walls, the exterior wall functions to assign and control different parameters, interior walls and peripheral controls and different parameters. So all these different points I'll be discussing in this session. When you create a building project, you have to create the building elements step by step, and finally collectively you say that this is the project. Those building elements are walls, windows, doors, floors, roofs, and so on. And also you can use the massing tool also for creating the mass property. The sequence of creating a building model is very, very important. How do you approach and how you create from 2D and 3D is synchronously updated, and that you can reuse. And behind this, the three-dimensional parametricity is involved. That means whenever you do any changes, that will be incorporated. All this function I will show during my presentation, explanation of each subject. Let us first understand about different types of walls. The walls can be exterior, and this you can use for partition, that is the interior walls. You can have retaining walls, foundation walls, and curtain walls. These curtain walls typically you use just like you can say in malls or in commercial structures where you use glass. So this curtain walls also we'll discuss. So how you create walls, that we'll look into. So different approach you have. Either you can go to architecture, build, wall drop down, and from there you create wall architectural or structural. So we'll look into this creation method. And here you have couple of properties inside wall, which I will demonstrate about the wall properties. And finally you have different wall instance properties also, that you can set the constant, what is the base offset, how much is the height of the wall, and all this you can control by using different level tools. And different type of walls, you can see there is a basic generic wall, or you can have a structure with composite wall structure and is having interior or partitions or different properties you have. And the governing properties for wall you can configure by using this edit, and through that you can have different layers of walls also for the thermal insulation, membrane, subtrace, core boundaries, and how much thickness independently you need to give, that also you can control. Other than that, you can have a wrapping privilege. As you can see from this particular preview, you cannot see the walls particular preview here inside the door panel, but here you can see when you use wrap functions you can have it. So all these functions I can show you inside my live sessions. And also you can see here this particular end is not wrapping, but here you can see this particular wrapping. Wrapping means this particular map which you have is visible here, but here it is not visible. So how to control all these properties, that I will show. I'll close the session, and once you close, you can directly open that from the saved interface also. So this is the model which we will be taking, that you can find from your project DVD folder or USB dongle folder. So let me show you couple of options inside your wall. If you select wall from here, the architecture wall, once you click wall, here you have by default a type of wall set, that will understand which type of wall is selected. So before clicking this overall generic portion, if you click here, you can see the wall architectural. Once you select architectural, you can see here from the properties different types of walls: curtain, exterior, generic, and so on. So these are the different types of walls. Once you select this particular wall, then you can see this edit type. From this edit type, once you go to edit, you can see the thickness control as well. Just like that, any particular type of wall can be reconfigured. If you want to reconfigure a particular wall, if you select a particular wall, and I will do edit type, and you go to this edit structure, that is the construction, you can see different layers which you have, and independently you can change this thickness for as per your requirement. And if you see here, if you zoom this, you cannot see inside this door this particular texture, because this wall is not merged here. So if you want to embed this, once you select this, you have couple of configurations which I have shown. If you go to edit type, edit, here you have options like default wrapping option at inserts. If you see here, do not wrap, change to exterior, and this is the exterior portion. You go to OK, and once you go to apply, OK, you can see the difference. So now this is visible. This particular area before was not with the wall properties. So because this is the padding area. Just like that, you can see from other side as well. So this is configured. Just like that, here if you see, this is not painted. So if you want to consider this thickness portion, and you have provision here. If you select this particular wall, go to edit type, go to edit. I have not selected properly. This master wall, once you select, go to edit. Here you can see default wrappage. I'll change to exterior here, and at ends, this at the ends. This is at the ends. This you can also wrap with this. So I'll select this particular wall. I'll go to edit type. I'll go to edit, and here at ends I'll convert to exterior and go to OK. Apply. OK. Now you can see this is also included, as I have selected the end to be wrapped. So these all properties you can independently control, and you can configure based on your requirement. Other than that, when you select the wall, in the very basic function, you see the base constant is level 1. So what does it mean? If you go to a particular elevation view, you can see this. This is the level 1. My wall will be starting from this level 1, and this height will be till level 2, that is 10 feet. If you want to change this, this also you can be changed. So automatically this wall height also is getting updated. So when you construct a wall, I'll go to the level 1 to see this. When you construct a particular wall, you can see this constant at level 1, and whatever the top constant, that is to the level 2. So automatically you can see here 11 feet is shown, but it is not editable because this is locked to a particular level. And if you want to specify user defined, you go to unconnected and you type whatever you need. So I'll select to a particular level 2, and when you connect a particular wall here, escape, and now you can see from the 3D view this wall is constructed, and this is still this 11 feet. So in this way you can configure the wall's different properties as per your requirement. let me show you how you can sketch walls and what all different peripheral controls you have inside walls. So you can have walls direct dimensions control, and you can have with the angle control, you can stretch the wall, and you can edit this by gripping these endpoints, and by gripping these endpoints you can have rotations as well. And other than that, you can lock the dimensions, or you can change these temporary dimensions as per your requirement, and you can flip these directions also. The placement directions can be flipped, and different drag controls are allocated at the end. I'll show each independently. If you go to the top view, that is the level 1, here I will show you couple of different options inside walls. I'll go to architecture, I'll go to walls, wall architectural. Once you select architectural, here you can see the dashboard. This is the dashboard. So from this you can see location is wall center line, and which type of wall you will be using, that you can configure. I'll be using a generic wall which is 6 inch. And if you want to use this wall, you can see if you want to offset from existing wall, that offset also you can specify. But here I am just creating the wall. Once you create this wall, you can see directly the tracking informations that is logged perpendicularly, that is vertically. And I can go to escape. This is not joined here. And once you drag this, you can see automatically this is matching. So still you have to merge this inside. Once you drag this, this will be merged automatically, just like this end. And if you select this, you can flip the directions also. Which side is the inside or outside, that you can control. Other than that, if you see a open wall, you can understand this very clearly. Go to wall, wall architectural, and here you can see the generic 6 inch. Once I'll create this particular wall, and I'll go to escape to stop it, again escape to remove this dashboard panel. And when I will click over this particular wall, you can see the dimensions which you can edit. Let me say that this is 16 feet. Once you click, that will be finalized. And also you can see this particular end which you can grip and drag and change the dimensions. Just like that, this end also you can grip and change the dimensions. Just like that, if you hold the end point and rotate, also you can find the angle, and this angle can be controlled as per your requirement. And once you need to have this as a fundamental final dimensions, you edit it maybe to 24 feet, and once you click this particular icon, the dimension icon, this will be permanently shown here as the dimension. This is applicable to any structure. You can see this dimension I can finalize. If you finalize this dimension, you can click this. Once you finalize this, there will be a dimension icon which directly can be used for finalizing your dimension. And now if you double click, you cannot edit. You will get this dimension text option. So after finalizing, you cannot edit it. So just you have to delete again, and when you place it again, it is editable. So in this way you can create your walls, you can rotate, you can stretch, and you can use different options as I have shown to control. Just like that, you can sketch a rectangular wall, and you can have all the peripheral control to place a rectangular wall. If you go to wall architectural, when you go to architectural, here you see a modify and place wall panel board. The ribbon panel will be categorically shown like select, properties, clipboard, geometry, modify, view, measure, create, draw. So let us focus on this draw. Here you can find rectangle. Once you go to rectangle, here you can specify the first corner, and after that you can specify your second corner. And based on your requirement, you can edit this. I am editing to 30, and this based on the requirement, whatever the dimensions you need, you can edit it. Or once you cancel it, you select this dimensions is shown. That means when you select the other side, these dimensions will be prompted. I need 15 feet. So you can finalize. In this way, you can positions and edit your dimensions. I am just deleting this. And after that, you can see the circular wall profile as well you can create by specifying center line and different other options. And also you can create the start and radius arc. Also you can specify the center and you can draw your arc, and you can specify the angular distance. You can have the fillet arcs as well. So I will show all these options and peripheral controls I will show. So let me open a new file. I will change this to architecture. OK. Next I will go to wall, architectural, and from here I will show you all these different options which I can use. So this one is start and radius. Once you specify the start point, end point, and whatever the radius you have, that you can specify here. Based on your requirement, you can draw. I'll press cancel. Once you select this, you can have this radius. Whatever the dimensions you need, that you can specify. Just like that, here you can see the arc angle also. Just like that, this controls from the horizontal how far it will be. I will show 0, so that this will be like this. So in this way you can create different radial walls as well. Go to architectural, wall, and from here you can see the center and arc. So you specify which options. If you are confused, you can see the status bar also. Click to enter arc center. Once you specify arc center, you can see directly your wall. This is the starting point, and where will be your ending point, that you can specify based on your requirement. And once you escape it, you can edit later based on your requirement. And you can also specify your radius. So in this way you can create your radial center arc methods. And also you can create the tangent arc. So for creating tangent arc, you need to have the tangent. So let me show you by creating a rectangle, and here I need to create a tangent arc. So go to wall architecture and select this particular option, tangent arc. This is my starting point. So just I will create the open end so that you can have the tangency. So go to wall and go to this tangent arc method, and you can specify by selecting start and end options. So in this way you can create the tangency arc methods. Just like that, if you see another options, you have fillet. So fillet options also you can use directly inside your existing walls. So you can select this side and this side, and you can set your fillet radius. So after pressing escape, you can set the required radius. So in this way you can create your tangent arcs or fillet arcs as a wall. I will select this and I will delete this. So these are the different options which you can find inside this, and this is for your selection purpose and which you can pick and select. Next we'll see how to sketch interior walls. If you see the interior walls, different generic walls are there like 6 inch, 8 inch and as per your requirement. So in this way, once you want to configure these walls further, you can add different layers and you can configure your layers. And in this particular tutorial, we'll look and apply whatever we learned. So in our coming sessions, I will show and demonstrate in this tutorial the usage of this. So before going to this tutorial, I will show how you can add different interior walls with configuration. I will explain you how to create this type of configuration. Once you go to this wall, here you have different walls, preset walls. You can see this. Whatever the lower end walls you have 250 mm. Once you select this, go to edit type. Here you can see structure, edit, and here you can have your inserts. So let us say I am giving a insulations layer and core layers. So core boundary is this much. I will give 50, and here another layer I will give 50, and I will go to OK. Apply. If you create the walls, you will be seeing these informations. Once you go to the medium informations, here you can see these layers. So you can configure your typical layers, thickness and core properties, and you can have as a standard template repeatedly which you can use. So in our coming session, I will explain you in 2 different tutorials the usage of the walls and will implement and understand. Thank you.